There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight we put a bow on Week 15 with a good Monday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers. Here's the former Utah Ute Matt Gay to get this one started. And we are underway on a Monday night. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Box it, box it, box it, box it.
They'll go again to Jones. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Powell on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. Well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And
it's a Packers touchdown. Allen Lazard, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Going right back to Akers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
On first down, they'll start out with Akers. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now Jones. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit.
That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Here's Watson. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though.
He's got a man complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? When you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Rodgers now to throw. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard. Aaron Rodgers 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And it's now 21-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 70. And the Packers continue to pull away here in this first half. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And it is 28-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Rams are going to get the football here at their own 23. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
first down. Stafford here. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Throwing on second and long. Stafford. Across the middle, and this pass complete to Cooper Kupp. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll throw complete to Cam Akers. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
That is intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, 626.
Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Steps away to his left. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, they've got to remember that they're not going to get it all back on one drive. But that being said, they also had to come out here in the 3rd quarter with a sense of urgency and playmaking ability, and they showed it on that last play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now it's Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. There he goes left side. The 40, 20, 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
And Johnson's extra point up and good, and that makes this 35-0 now. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are ripped. And now here's another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Running right, Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And it is 42-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quay Walker has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So 2 sacks for the rookie, definitely making an impact here in year 1.
And in a ton of different ways, because rushing the passer, that was supposed to be a skill that he was developing. Looks to me like he's figured it out already.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive, because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
They'll try again with Jones. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Jones. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. Johnson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
20.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
22. It's the gain of 3. And the Rams
Give me radar.
On the handoff, running left is Akers. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Play action. Stafford. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. There's a nice move. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ballgame.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Stafford's throw pulled in by Atwell here. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Stafford on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Throwing again at Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
22.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. This one swung out here to Jones.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers throwing here. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at